But elsewhere in the battle, where a torrent had hurled rolling boulders far and wide and torn up trees along its banks, there Pallas saw his Arcadians, unused to charge on foot, as they went fleeing from the Latins. The rough terrain had lured them to send back their horses. He has only one response at such a crisis. Now with pleas and now with bitter words he calls upon their courage. Where are you running, comrades? By your valor and by the name of your own king Evander, by victories you have won, and by my hope that now would match my father's fame, you cannot trust your feet. The sword must hack a passage through Latin ranks, and where their mass is thickest, there is where your noble homeland asks that you and your chief Pallas find a path. There are no gods against us. Mortals, we are driven back by mortal enemies. We have as many hands and lives as they. Just see, the waters hem us in with their great sea wall. There is no retreat by land. Then shall we seek the deep, or Troy's new camp. This said, he charged against the crowding Latins. Lagus, led on by his uneven fates, is first to face him. For while Lagus hauls a heavy boulder, Pallas hurls a lance that stabs him through the middle of his back, just where the spine divides the ribs. And Pallas stoops down to tug the shaft from Lagus's bones. Then his bow hacks at Pallas from above, hoping to take him by surprise, but fails. While his bow charges, reckless and gone wild because he saw his comrade dying, Pallas strikes his bow first, piercing his swollen lung. The next to be cut down is Sthenius, and then Anchemolus, descended from the ancient line of Rhetus. He was one who dared defile his own stepmother's bed. Two more, twin brothers, Thymber and Larides, the sons of Daucus, fell on Latin fields, so like each other, indistinguishable, that even their own parents made sweet errors. But Pallas drew a cruel difference between them. He lopped off the head of Thymber. From you, Larides, he chopped off the hand. Now severed, it seeks out its master, and its dying fingers twitch and try again to clutch the sword. The Arcadians, excited by the warning shouts of Pallas, and seeing what he has done so splendidly, are armed by mingled shame and indignation to face the enemy. Then Pallas pierces Rhetius, racing past upon his chariot. His dying gave delay and time to Ilus, for Pallas had cast his tough lance from far at Ilus. But the one it struck was Rhetius, who intercepted it as he took flight from you, brave Teuthras, and your brother Tyres. And Rhetius tumbles half dead from his chariot, and with his heels he spurns the Latin fields. Just as in summer, when the winds he wished for awake at last, a shepherd scatters fires across the forests, suddenly the space between the kindled woods takes fire too. The bristling and unbroken battle line of Vulcan spreads across wide plains. The shepherd, a victor, watches the delirious flames. Not unlike this, all of your comrades' courage now rallies to one point, to help you, Pallas. But now Halesus, valiant in battle, has gathered all his strength behind his shield and marches out against the Arcadians. He kills Demodocus, then Ladon, Furies. With gleaming sword he rips Strymonius' right hand, raised high against Halesus' throat. He strikes the face of Thoas with a rock and scatters both his bones and brains about. His father, who foresaw his fate, had hidden Halesus in the forests, and yet when the old man's whitened eyes fell slack in death, the fates had laid their hands upon his son, assigned Halesus to Evander's lance. Now Pallas heads for him, but first he prays, O Father Tiber, give the steel I poise good fortune, passage through Halesus' chest. This done, an oak made sacred to you will have all his weapons and his warriors' spoils. The god heard Pallas' words, for while Halesus uses his shield in sheltering Imaon, all unprotected, he himself presents his luckless breast to the Arcadian lance. But Lausus, such a bulwark in that battle, will not let his troops panic at the slaughter that Pallas dealt. And first he cuts down Abas, tough not and stay in combat. The Etruscans are fallen, and Arcadia's young men and Trojans, you whom Greeks could not destroy. The armies clash in close melee, their might and captains matched. The rear ranks crowd against the vans. The crush is such they cannot move their hands or weapons. Pallas spurs and urges against him, Lausus, both close in their years and both most handsome, both denied by fortune, return to their homelands. Nevertheless, the king of high Olympus did not let them duel. Soon enough their fates await them, each fate beneath another greater hand. But meanwhile Turnus' gracious sister warns him that Lausus needs his help. He cuts across the intervening ranks in his swift chariot, and when he sees his comrades, Turnus shouts, You have had enough of battle. I alone meet Pallas. He is owed to me, my own. I could have wished his father here to watch. This said, his comrades left the field as ordered, but when they have gone off, the youth, amazed at Turnus' arrogance, admires him. He runs his eyes across that giant frame, and from a distance, grim, scans everything, then casts these words against the prince's words. Soon I shall win my glory, either by the spoils I carry off from a commander, or by a splendid death. My father can stand up to either fate. Enough of threats. With this he takes the middle of the field. Blood gathers cold in the Arcadians' hearts, and Turnus leaped down from his chariot, going on foot to meet him hand to hand. Even as when from some high point a lion who sees a bull far off along the plains, preparing for a battle, rushes on, just so is Turnus' image as he comes. But Pallas, when he thought him close enough for spear cast, is the first to move ahead, to see if chance can help his daring try. His powers are overmatched, and so he cries out to the giant heavens, Hercules, I pray you by my father's welcome to you, the board that you, a stranger, shared with him, to help my great attempt. Let dying Turnus see me strip off his bloody weapons. Let his dying eyes see me a conqueror.